No.
Are you on?
All right. Hi, everybody.
Look at my little stool here.
Oh, yep. Here you go. Watch out. Hey, guys.
Well, hello, everybody. David Gross with Conde Systems, back with you for a little Friday Live with our star Sprite. How are you, Sprite?
Fantastic. Excited. Very
Yes,
excited.
yes, yes, and yes. So we have a whole lot to cover with you today, and as always, we welcome your questions. You'll get to see the question, I guess, right there.
I can see the questions.
Okay.
So.
And hopefully,
yeah, you guys let us know if you can hear us, see us. Everything's going well. That'd be cool. Yeah. Is it Friday again? Uh-oh. Nancy got a new tattoo. There you go. That's what's up. All right, guys. So, if you...
Everything look good? How about
I think so.
YouTube? I wonder if...
How are we going on the YouTube?
YouTube.
Miss Lynn's
Pins.
Jerry says we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right, guys. So as y'all saw in the intro, we're going to be doing all about EasySubli today. So I'm excited about this because I'm getting some pretty good results from it. And I think you guys are going to be excited as well.
Yeah. Let's talk, just before we get started, a little bit of the history of this. So EasySubli is the brand name for two things, the ink and then the vinyl, which Sprite will cover. And so over these many years, sublimation isn't very far from having a 100-year anniversary.
Oh.
It's hard to believe, but sublimation was first observed in 1938, best I can tell. And from that day forward, people have been harnessing the power of sublimation. And we started on this journey around 1992. And in my first life, I helped design the first monochrome laser printer. So I got into digital imaging, got into color, and then ultimately that company was sold. And I needed to figure out what I was going to do with my second life, so to speak. And I did a little literature research, and that was sort of pre-internet days. And I found this intriguing technology called sublimation. And I fell in love with it, and that's what we've been doing all this time. And we have partnered with what I would consider the best of the best people like Universal Woods, better known as Unisub and Chromolux, people like Sawgrass, and the list goes on and on and on. And so it's been funny that sublimation has been a little bit like what I would call electricity. Being an electrical engineer, I can definitely relate to that, in that electricity is an enabling technology. That's what it is. And if you were to go back in history and ask folks, you know, like Edison and Tesla, what would electricity look like today, I think they would be, to some extent, shocked. Maybe not Tesla, but Edison certainly would be. Computers and satellite. And so sublimation is exactly the same. It's an enabling technology. And what we're going to talk about a little bit is hybrid sublimation, meaning we're sort of combining different elements together to create high-value products. And the good news is buckle up, because there are going to be even more things that happen with sublimation in the coming years. Our company is working on lots of patents on different ways that sublimation can apply this technology. Others are doing the same thing, you know, cotton decorating, you name it, textiles. So all sorts of things. And so the great folks at Siser worked with Sawgrass to push this product into our sphere, the sublimation world. And they've done a great job, and I would say that this is certainly the early stages, but many of our clients are asking to get educated on this, to see how it fits into their world. And we took a little extra time compared to some of the other great companies out there. We took the extra time, Ms. Sprite did, to understand how this technology is best used to get the best results in the most cost-effective way, and that's what we're going to do today.
So they're saying that there's a little bit of sync issue. Can I change that from
Yes.
there? So do I just need to bring it down to
Do you
zero?
think, yeah, bring it down, takes care of it.
All right, Elton, let me know if that helps with the sync at all. Sorry, we're playing with new stuff all the time. By the way, I feel really strange being on this side of you. I feel like there's something wrong with my neck. So,
You know, this is truly what you would say, and when I teach my classes, and the next one, by the way, is at Secaucus next month.
that's
I think
right.
it's the end of July.
It is. Wait a second. Let's talk about that for a second. It is
So I teach,
the 25th and the 26th. Yeah.
so we're going to be teaching a class. Jeff and I will teach our Road to Sublimation Success class. And one of the things I teach in there is get out of your comfort zone. And to some extent what that means is that, let's say we introduce a new product. What are we going to introduce today? What's you want to?
Oh, so I get to go ahead and spoil it?
Well,
we have
we could-
we
we
have
can
three
wait.
new products,
But
actually.
anyway, let's say
so-
we introduce a new product, and you look at it, and you say, you know, I don't care for that product. It's not something that I would buy. And what I would tell you is, and I teach it in my classes, a little hard on people actually. I sort of call people out occasionally. Is
What?
don't let your opinions get in the way of making money. And by that, it's very simple, is just because you don't care for a product really has very little to do with whether or not your clients will buy the product. And I use the example I use all the time is flip-flops. I'm not a flip-flop person. I would not wear flip-flops. But does that have anything to do with what other people want? And so everybody in my family will wear a flip-flop. So, and we've had many success stories of people that were sampled on products by our sales reps, and maybe somebody in their shop or somebody else said, you know, I want to decorate this. You put them out, flip-flops sell very well into the wedding environment, for instance. So the point is that you've got to be pushing outside of your comfort zone all the time. And this is an example where we're trying to continue to evolve our technology so we can do a better job at educating you.
That's right.
Question on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.
Is a media from Siser you can print with sublimation ink and the ink passes from one side to the other side?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Is a media from Siser you can print with sublimation ink and the ink passes from one side to the other side?
So the question,
I guess they're asking is with Siser, like the technology can you sublimate the ink and the ink passes from one side to the other?
So I think what they're saying
okay. Do you
is
get
it
a
a
bleed
barrier?
through?
Is
Okay, so I think, so there was a question on YouTube about the Siser vinyl, and trust
We'll-
me, guys,
we'll-
we're
We'll
getting
get
to
to
it.
all that. Good
I
question.
think the question is about the sublimation ink bleeding through the vinyl.
Sometimes we call that dye migration, but in the screen printing world, they have, I think, maybe a different word. I can't remember what word they use, but basically is the Siser Subli, EasySubli, is it a barrier to the ink?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll take those questions as we go. But we got a lot to cover, and I think it's very exciting.
We do. Justin, SubliShrink. Speaking of that, I would like to thank all of you for coming to our amazing open house. It was a great success. Thank you all for joining online. I know we had a bunch of fun contests going on. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time. I know everybody that worked it had a great time. I hope you guys did too. I hope you learned a lot.
It was amazing, overwhelming, and I think the best part of this year's open house was our virtual open house, where we did our best to stream the classes to YouTube and Facebook. I think some extent that worked, and some extent it didn't work, but we were working to get those classes on Facebook and YouTube so you can watch them.
All right, guys, so a couple of things before we get started. If I can get over 150 live viewers on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to give away the 3 art packs that I do today, and they're pretty cute. So share this video, tell your friends, put them into your sublimation groups. Let's get our viewership up, and let's give some stuff away. Not to mention, we will be playing Guess the Weight, so all that good to come, or more to come. So let's talk about the EasySubli. Okay. So, the EasySubli comes, let's see,
Am I in your way?
No, well, yes. All right, so the EasySubli is going to come like this. You're going to get a 50 pack of the mask, and then a 50 pack of the heat transfer vinyl.
They are sold separately, so you will need to order
That
both.
is correct, yes, yes. So they are sold separately.
And we'll likely start packaging them in smaller packs quickly.
Yes, yes, sorry, I was reading comments. That is also correct. So, okay.
And then the rolls, of course.
We're going to trade sides. We're going to trade sides. All right, so yes, it comes in a 50 pack. So the mask comes in a 50 pack. It's $32.50. It also comes in a 20-inch by 50-yard roll. The vinyl comes in an 8.4 by 11-inch 50 pack sheet for $110, and it also comes in a 20-inch by 50-yard roll. So we're going to talk about why we need to use that and what all you need to do. So, okay, so there's a lot to go over. Let's see. Now I am very confused being on this side of the room. I just want you to know that. Okay, so the first thing that I want you guys to see is the difference between printing with SubliJet inks, which are your normal inks that you already have in your Sawgrass printer, and printing with the EasySubli inks from Siser for the new vinyl. But first, this is something that I was not aware of. So when you first print a transfer, the very first thing that you have to do as soon as your vinyl comes out of the printer is to stick it under the heat press. And I want to show you guys this really quick. So this is one that has been put underneath the heat press, and then this is one that has not been put under the heat press yet, and you can see the difference in the vibrancy. So I'm going to stick this under the heat press for 1 minute without closing the heat press, and that's going to dry the ink, and it's also going to bring the color out. As we know, sublimation ink is heat activated, so yeah, so the heat brings it out. And yeah.
Now these are both direct printed.
That's
with
correct.
the printers, whether they be the Sawgrass printer that has the EasySubli ink in it, or the Sawgrass printers that have the SubliJet-HD, including the older Ricos that have SubliJet ink in them, and really including you know, brand X kind of printers. So we've not done much testing at all on other printers outside of Rico and Sawgrass.
I see you guys out there. They're pulling for me. Danette said, I think the best part of these live videos is watching Sprite give David the look. He's used to it. He's been married for over 30 years. He knows the look. All right, Tammy, we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so now I've got both of these ready to cut. I want to show you the difference in the print. So this one was printed with my SG800 using just regular SubliJet ink. So this one was printed using the EasySubli ink. I don't know if you guys can see the difference because there really isn't too much of one. So, all right, so we're going to cut it. I'm going to show you how to cut it, and then we're going to press it. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's pressed. Okay. All right, so I've got this one already cut out. Okay. Let's see, where am I at here? All right, guys, so I'm going to switch you over to my silhouette screen here. Okay, look at how fancy we are. I'm so excited about this. All right, so with silhouette, the way that you set this up is that you're going to open your graphic. So you're going to open your graphic that you want to do. You want to set your page size up to be at 8.5 by 14. So, or 8.5 by 11. So you set your page size up as a letter size. All right. So then what you want to do is you want to turn your registration marks on because you're going to have to cut this. So I know that everybody does this a little bit differently. I just go to View, Registration Marks, and then I turn my registration marks on. So now I know that that's going to cut. All right, so to trace it, there we go. You're just going to select your trace area. And I know, Alice, if you're watching this, you're probably giving me all types of grief because I'm not as good at this as you are, but so we want to trace the outer edge. Okay, so now, let's go, so now what I have is this red cut line. Okay, so what I did is I gave it an offset because I wanted there to be a white outline. Now you don't have to do that. You can give it an internal offset, and that way you're not going to have any white excess on the outline. So in order to do that, we're going to go here, and I'm going to click on offset. Well, first I'm going to click on the actual line, click on my cut line, and then click on offset. So you can give it as much of an offset as you want to. I'm looking here at the stars and kind of seeing how it's going to cut, and so I can, you can change it as much as you want to. You can give it more, you can give it less, whatever you want to do. All right, so then you're going to apply that. Okay. All right, so we're basically ready to send this to our printer and then to our cutter. But before we do that, we want to set our VPM up. So Sawgrass has set up a new VPM type for the EasySubli. And in order to install that, you're going to go to your VPM manager here. You're going to right click on it, go to Options, and then Edition. And you're going to click on Enable New Edition. And when you click on that, a new dialog box is going to pop up asking you the name of the edition, and you just type in Siser and hit Apply. And then that's going to apply your Siser profiles. Okay, so, all right, so I've already got this guy set up. So I'm going to go like I'm going to print it. So I'm just going to hit Control P, go to Print. And my Virtuoso print manager is going to pop up. I want to make sure my EasySubli inks are selected, my EasySubli vinyl is selected, and I want to make sure that my image is unmirrored. Okay, so now we are ready to send this to the printer.
And we're sending it to?
We're sending it directly to the vinyl. So my printer would have the vinyl already in it, shiny side face up, and then this is going to print directly to the vinyl.
And we're
Okay,
sending it to I guess, an SG800 with SubliJet-HD inks.
that's right. Okay, so, all right. So now we're different camera. Okay, so now we are ready to send it to the cutter, which is actually like kind of my favorite part, honestly. It's pretty cool. So you want to make sure that you have your top registration mark lined up on the top edge of your mask sheet for your silhouette. So we're just going to line it up.
I want to ask how much of an inset would you use?
So the question is, how much of an inset would you use? And not very much at all. Maybe like 0.03 or something like that. Really, you probably don't even need to use an inset simply because it's going to cut so well. So let's go ahead and send it to the cutter. It's hard to figure out how to get the mouse to come back to the screen.
Just slide it to the left.
There we go. I found it. All right, so let's all right, so I'm going to go to send, and I'm just going to send it. There we go. All right, so it's going to read the registration marks. And I have done this a couple of times where it didn't read the registration marks right off, and then I would just send it through a couple more times, and eventually the registration marks read fine.
So obviously any cutter that does have an electronic eye would work for this. There are, of course, many on the market. So this is we'll call it the Siser SubliEasy direct print version that is great for either existing printers that have the SubliJet-HD ink, or if you own one of the printers that has the EasySubli ink, this procedure is the same for both.
All right, guys, so I wasn't catching the questions, so let me go ahead and answer some of them right now. So Alan says, well, first off, Deborah asks, so you have to have a different printer with a different ink to print on this product? Absolutely not. That is what I'm showing you right now. You can use your existing Sawgrass printer with your existing Sawgrass inks. You just have to print through VPM, and I just showed you how to print that how to set that VPM up. Alan says the instructions that are sent out say 311 degrees to press. That's really precise. Do we have to use a pyrometer to be that precise? And the answer is no. So, you know, vinyl sets at a low temperature. I've actually done it at 400 degrees. So no, it does not have to be exactly 311 degrees. Lisa asked, can we back up a little? Is this a type of vinyl that we are printing on? Yes, Lisa, it is. We are printing on this vinyl. We are taking this vinyl, loading it into our printer, and printing directly onto it, and then sending it to our cutter. All right.
This vinyl has a inkjet receptive coating on it that would allow the ink to drop onto the coating and stay there. If you print on traditional vinyl, the ink would just run. So the great folks at Siser have put an additional coating that allows this to be direct print. And so what we're demonstrating here is the direct print version of the SubliEasy vinyl.
Okay, so Tammy said, so when you put it under the heat press for 1 minute, do you use the same temp as the vinyl requires for pressing? And yeah, just let your temperature be your press be at temp, and then just let it sit under the open heat press for about a minute. Okay.
Can you use the mask with the Cricut?
Can you use the mask with the Cricut? You can use the vinyl with the Cricut, yes. Lisa, I don't know about SubliTag. You can't have any part in the top. You might.
So SubliTag is another product by another company that allows you to basically melt the product into a product like wood. So I think it's unrelated to this. this is intended for apparel for fabrics.
Kay, the catalog code is Siser, so you need to type in Siser. Nancy, the cutter settings are, let me see real quick. The cutter settings are the depth is 3, the speed is 5, and the force is 15, and all that should be on the website. So I have, would you say the EasySubli is thinner than the Forever SubliFlex 202? It's actually about the same hand. Okay.
It sounds funny on YouTube. It sounds like it's cracking, and the sound sounds like in slow motion.
Sorry, not sure. Okay.
All right. Okay. That's all right. Okay. Okay.
Another question.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have HD ink, what do you use for it to print HD or EasySubli?
So even if even if you are using the SubliJet inks, you still want to print with the EasySubli ink setting, no matter what, because it's going to lay the ink down a specific way on the vinyl.
So just to reiterate, while she begins to weed,
And watch how easy this is too.
reiterate, so we're going to discuss today 2 models of doing or of using this exciting new vinyl. Number 1 is the direct print version, and to reiterate again, you do not need to buy a new printer. You can use the printer you have. You just have to print with the correct settings, and we'll reiterate those. So if you have a existing printer, SG400, 800, VJ628, then you will be able to use this. If you, for whatever reason, want to purchase a new printer with the EasySubli ink, you can also use. We have gotten excellent results from both printers, and so we're very happy with the results. And then after we finish this, we're going to talk about using the vinyl, using the traditional sublimation method, that is print on paper and transfer to the vinyl. That also works great.
All right, guys. Okay, so David and I are going to switch up real quick, and I'm going to press this on a shirt. So what I have here is I have this top one, which was done with my SG800 with my SubliJet inks, and then on this bottom one here, I'm going to do the EasySubli inks, and I'm going to do a comparison for you guys to show you. So I have a black shirt, just a 100% cotton black shirt. I'm just going to do a really quick 5-second free press just to kind of get all the wrinkles out. Once again, it's 311 degrees, so I'm just getting my wrinkles out a little bit. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. Let's go back to this real quick. So we're going to go back overhead, and let me show you guys how I'm going to mask this. So, Finch, I'm going to need your credit card again, please. All right. So when you have a very detailed design like this, let's not show people what your credit card number is. You need to take it off of the backing paper to place it onto the shirt. So if I just had a circle or a square, then I could peel it off and stick it on the shirt. But since there's so much going on here, I'm going to use my masking paper. All right, so I'm just going to peel the backing off. Apply it, give it a nice little rub. Okay, so there's one down. Okay, number 2.
Can the masking paper be reused?
No, the masking paper cannot be reused. Because once you use it and once you apply the heat to it, it's going to lose the stickiness. Good question. All right. So we're just going to do both of these at the same time. We're going to do them for 15 seconds, medium pressure or light pressure. Cover it with butcher paper. Let's see what we got. All right, so I see Barb said, if I put the EasySubli profile in VPN, you don't have the option to bounce to the SubliJet-HD. Help. Okay, Barb, so if you are using, so let's say, you know, that you're doing the vinyl. If you're doing the vinyl, you need to go to the drop-down menu, change your edition to Siser. If you are doing anything else other than the vinyl, then you need to go back and change your edition back to Sawgrass. I hope that answers your question. All right, so let's see. What else do I got? Okay. All right. So let me show you guys what I have here. All right. So this top one is with my SubliJet inks, and the bottom one is with my EasySubli inks. And I mean, there's really not a difference.
What was that press time again?
The press time is 15 seconds. Let me see if I can, maybe something about this light. See if that makes it a little better. Maybe still just, trust me guys, it looks really, really good in person. I'm just not getting very good colors. I don't know. It looks good, I promise. It looks great. Okay. So. Okay.
Hold it up back there and they can see it maybe a little further back.
We'll see if you guys can tell from back here.
Looks excellent.
Looks great. Okay, so really good question, Danette. Okay, so Danette says that, let me get my, okay. So Danette says, I have never printed from VPM. I print from Photoshop with the Conde profiles that tech support installed. My colors have always been perfect, so I don't want to mess with that. If I use VPM for this, will I still be able to use what I have been for everything else? That may sound like a dumb question. Okay, no, not a dumb question at all. So you can go to sawgrassinc.com and download the free version of VPM.
So if you call tech support, we will install VPM for you. It does not interfere with the SpectraFusion, the Condé profile, the method that we print from normally. It is an additional driver, additional everything. It will not screw up the way you're set up now. In the future, you can expect that we will include in SpectraFusion another profile for the Siser EasySubli vinyl. So we've just not had time to do it. And so the instant solution today is install VPM, print with VPM per what we're discussing, and then for Photoshop and all that, continue doing whatever you're doing using the Condé SpectraFusion. The good news is for a Sawgrass printer, all this is free if you're, of course, buy it from us or you're buying your supplies from us. Everything is free. So all we're doing is again, pushing the envelope to allow you to do more things, more substrates, and of course, make more money.
Does it feel like HTV?
Yes, yes, it does feel like HTV, and it has the same feel as the SubliFlex. And I had a question about the washability, and I haven't had a chance to wash it so much, but I have washed it 3 times and dried it, and I have not had any issue with the vinyl yet. I've heard really good things about the washability of this vinyl.
Yeah, the good news is sublimation, of course, sets into the vinyl, it dyes it. That's what we call it, dye diffusion. And so it's very difficult to get out. Yes, you put enough heat on it, it comes out, but that kind of heat is not something you're going to see in normal handling of a garment.
Another question, is there anything different you have to do with the Mac to get the registration marks from VPN?
So the registration marks are, you do the registration marks based on your cut software. So if you're using Silhouette, you use the registration marks in Silhouette. If you're using like an Eyeline, you're going to use the registration marks in Eyeline. GraphTech, same thing. So it depends on whatever type of cutter that you're using.
And I think that the Siser people recommend a wait period before it's washed.
Yeah,
Right?
yes, 24 hours before washing, for sure. And Rebecca asked, are you washing the t-shirt before pressing? No, ma'am, absolutely not. Can you do photographs? Also, or is this just for bold photographs? Also out of sync here again, and your voices don't sound like they normally do. Sorry. It's the choker. All right, speaking of photographs, we're about to do one, and I'm going to show you that. So another thing that we have come up with is to cut the vinyl and then transfer from sublimation paper onto the vinyl. And this is where I'm really getting the amazing results. So those of you that are familiar with our SubliSparkle, that's the way that we do the SubliSparkle. So it's the same thing. And I'm going to show you kind of how to do that. And it's pretty great. And so what we were thinking is, you know, taking a big, like just a regular sheet and doing, you know, like a summertime graphic with some verbiage on it, and then sublimating directly onto that square, you're going to get the best results that you possibly can. So let's do that real quick.
So again, at the conclusion of this, you're going to have 2 great options to use this great product, the Siser Subli, EasySubli. Hard to say sometimes. One will be to print directly onto it. The other will be to sublimate to it like we normally do sublimation, print on paper and press. And we're going to continue to tweak and learn both of these methods, but the bottom line is you can use the printer you have. Now, she's about to start into the second method, which is traditional sublimation. And I would say from a support point of view, from a printer point of view, I'm leaning towards this method for a couple of reasons. Number one is, if you think about the vinyl, in order to run vinyl through the printer, you're going to have to make sure that the page size is proper, you know, for the vinyl. So if you buy the vinyl, for instance, in a roll, you've got to cut the vinyl and then put it in your printer and print on it. And so let's say you're doing a big shirt, you know, well, you're going to want to have a piece of the vinyl that's bigger than, say, letter size. So that's a complication in that you've got to cut your vinyl into an appropriate rectangle and then put it in the printer. You need to create a custom paper size for whatever the vinyl is you're putting in there, whether it be through your bypass tray or through the bottom tray. And if you don't do that, then what's going to happen is you're going to get a paper jam. So from an efficiency point of view with the vinyl, you're probably better off just printing on paper and then transferring to the vinyl. So really you have two great methods of using this vinyl that they have pros and cons with each, but the bottom line is both versions yield excellent results.
Yes, they do. So I'm just going to cut this out.
So you could take the photograph that she's doing, and you could run it back through your cutter, right?
You could, as long as it's in one piece. You know, you can't do anything that's going to
Because
fall
it'll
apart.
fall apart.
Right. I
you
mean,
know.
well, and you know, and you could put it on your masking, your silhouette pad, but it's still going to come apart once you take it off the pad.
So the reason she's trimming it is to allow
For alignment.
alignment. So if you were to, you know, have good alignment skills where you're looking at it, then obviously you could do that without having to cut it out.
Okay.
So again, the good news is it works, and the better news is that we're going to continue to tune the process for really a balance between the least amount of time and effort, you know, we call it time and motion, balanced with getting the best, most saturated colors. So, you know, you've got two things going on, and we've really fallen in love with this product.
All right, guys. So,
By the way, the Siser people came down for our open house, and so I got to meet some of them, and they're awesome folks.
all right. So I'm going to show you. So this one is really easy, and I'm just going to take and I'm just going to peel it off with my fingers because I don't really need to weed it out, and I don't need to mask it. So this is just like this. So I don't know if you guys saw me playing around in Silhouette, but when you do it this way, you need your vinyl to be unmirrored and your transfer to be mirrored. So let's press this to a shirt. All right. So I'm just going to do a quick pre-press. I'm going to tack my vinyl down for about 5 or 10 seconds. And just so you guys know, I am going about 360 degrees because we have to have sublimation occur here. So, all right. So my vinyl is tacked down. Now I'm going to take my transfer. I'm going to line it up. And I'm just going to use some heat tape to just hold it in place. All right. Now I'm going to press this for 30 seconds at about 360 degrees. And we'll see what we get.
You know,
Mr. Finch.
we've had a lot of good questions coming in, and we may not get to all of them.
All right, so let's tell you what, I'm on this camera thing. Wait. There we go. I almost messed myself up there. All right, so this is transferred directly on onto transfer paper and then onto the vinyl. Now, in comparison,
Let me hold some up for you.
let's see. Okay, so in comparison, yeah, can you hold this one up?
Mhm.
Oh, that one on my shoulder. All right, so let's see how we're going to do this. Why do I, what, we're going to figure this out eventually. What if we back up a little bit? Okay, so I don't know why I'm having such an issue with this. All right, so David's is printed, here, you zoom in. So this one is done, printed on transfer paper.
This is the traditional sublimation method, print on paper, sublimate to the vinyl.
Okay. This one is done with my SG800 printed directly onto the vinyl. And then this one is done with the EasySubli inks. So you can see that there is a lot more, it's a lot crisper, it's brighter, but you know, I mean, it still looks really good.
Yeah, so with
Looks really, really
traditional,
good.
it's going to be very, very difficult to ever beat the traditional sublimation process with printing on paper and then pressing to the vinyl, because it has such a minimal dot gain. That process is all very tuned for that kind of sublimation. Some people, we call it hybrid sublimation. And so bottom line is, as time will tell, I think everything will continue to improve, but the results using either method are spectacular.
All right, so I had some good questions. So Susan asked, can you sub on it first and then cut it out? Okay, good question, because I did try this earlier, and what happens is that the vinyl sticks to the backing sheet. So it works, but then you can't weed it out. So no, that's not gonna work. The other question was, why do you have to have this way 360 degrees when you only needed 311 degrees the other way? And that's because you are doing a different method of sublimation. You're not printing directly onto the vinyl, you're printing onto a carrier paper, which is the sublimation paper, and then printing onto the vinyl. So it's just, David, you want to, I don't know the
It's just,
scientifics.
one way is release paper, where you've got to heat the ink enough that's on the paper to turn it into a gas, and then that gas diffuses into the vinyl itself. That's more work, if you will, for sublimation than if we simply just heat up the ink that's already on the vinyl so that it sets into the coating that is on the vinyl. But there's really very little difference between those two from a time and temperature point of view.
Yes, David did have to go back to his side. Okay, so a couple more really good questions. What paper did you use for the printed image? And I just used our SPP DyeTrans Sublimation paper. So Danetta asked, will you always have the big white outline around the image, not really liking that too much? No, I did that personally. So if you go back to the beginning of the video, we talked about how to set up your external offset or your internal offset in Silhouette. I just did both of those with an external offset. You don't have to do that. You don't have to give it a white outline at all. That's just something that I did just to show you guys that it was available. Okay, all right. Let's talk about something else that's new. Wait, before we do that, I had another question, another thing that I wanted to address. So, a lot of people have been asking, can I use the EasySubli inks on other materials that are not vinyl? And the answer is yes, but I'm going to show you the difference in the inks. So, this is pressed with the EasySubli inks. David, I'm going to need you to help me here so you can hold this.
Onto Chromolux metal.
Onto Chromolux metal. So this is the EasySubli inks onto the Chromolux metal. This is the SubliJet inks onto the Chromolux metal. And then this is
using Spectra Fusion.
So we're going to have to go that way. Move that way, move that way. There we go, there we go. So this is Spectra Fusion. So you can see the difference in the blacks, the difference in the depth of color. So David likes to use the good, better, best, and I would say that that's what this is. So both of these are printing through VPN, and this is printed through the Spectra Fusion. So you want to hold those two up. So this is EasySubli, and this is SubliJet.
So there's quite a bit of difference with the way we print today using the SpectraFusion profile with the SubliJet-HD inks. We get incredible color, and it has a high accuracy, just in tune. We will need time to achieve the same thing with the EasySubli ink, to make it. Sawgrass certainly has a great out-of-the-box solution right this second if you choose to get the EasySubli, and we can tune it and make it a little bit better, especially for programs that understand color like Corel programs and like Adobe. The SpectraFusion technology is really a glove fit for programs like Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Lightroom, programs from Corel. So because those all have CIE color engines built in, that the SpectraFusion technology hooks directly to that engine so that you have a good translation of color moving from the color space of your product to the color space of the printer. And so bottom line is that with just a little bit of communication with you, we can find out which approach works best. So what we're saying today with the Subli Easy vinyl is that is the best way to get the best results is to use VPM from Sawgrass, which is free, and you're going to get the best results. We will turn our attention to integrating the Subli Easy vinyl into SpectraFusion in the near future.
Okay. All right, guys. So that's it for the EasySubli. Let's talk about some other things that I'm really excited about. The first one being we have a brand new textured product from the beautiful people at Universal Woods. So I'm excited to show these. We have a couple of different styles available. I have a 2x2 magnet. I have a 3-inch ornament. I have a 2x3 magnet. I have a Benelux ornament, and then I also have a coaster. Let me see if you guys, I don't know if you can see the texture in this or not, but it's...
I think it's hard to see the texture.
But it's textured.
But it's a very attractive
cool
look and feel. You can feel the texture. And what I would recommend is get a sample from your Conde rep to ship with your next order. And you know, we've been pushing for this product and working with the great folks at Universal Woods for a couple of years on this. And ultimately, as most of you probably can guess, the reason this was done was very simple. We were trying to mimic the look and feel of canvas. Obviously, canvas wraps are very popular, and so this is just a really a product that slides into that sphere. So you can see the texture, you can feel the texture. It really gives it, I think, a distinctive aura to it that this shouts value to me.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. Lisa wants to know if you swap out the ink cartridges. Can you swap out the ink cartridges when you want to use the EasySubli?
No.
No, please, I would not.
So again, and I know we've said a couple of times, and is at this point in time, we are getting excellent results with using the SubliJet-HD inks in the printers with the EasySubli vinyl. And so there is not a compelling reason that I can think of for you to buy a new printer, unless you just need one. And so you would use what you've already bought, use what you already know. We're just going to print through VPM with the Siser settings. That's it. Hope that's clear.
Yeah. And for those of you that are asking about SpectraFusion, if you buy your printer through us, SpectraFusion is our ICC profile that comes installed with our printers that you can use through any color management software. What's the
Color
term?
aware.
Color aware. I was
Color
close.
aware.
Color aware
So
software.
what you can do is you feel free, before you buy anything or after you buy something, you can consult with us. We will give you our opinion on what is the best way to print with your existing software. Now, sometimes it gets a little tricky because you might say, well, I have 2 ways to print, 3 ways. I have 3 applications. And so with the Siser vinyl, you may be printing today from Photoshop or Corel. We're not going to change that. But when it comes to using the Siser vinyl, we're going to recommend that you install VPM, which we can do for you, and you're going to print with the Siser settings. And if you do it that way, you'll get excellent results, as we have gotten excellent results.
All right, guys, so keep sharing this video, keep telling your friends. We're almost up to enough viewers. So before we go into the textured stuff, since I have my temperature down, let's talk about our new waffle towels. So I'm really excited about these. I've been looking for a good waffle towel for a long time, and I have finally found them. They come in 2 different sizes, the 11 by 18 and also the 16 by 25. So we're going to press the 11 by 18 today, and you're going to press this at 380 degrees for 1.5 minutes. So, and they're super cute. Really, really, really absorbent. I mean, I am incredibly surprised by how absorbent these actually are. I took and I wiped the sink out in the conference room, and I mean, it's almost like one of those ShamWow things. So be looking for different sizes of this in the future, because I am super stoked about this.
Yeah, we would, like the linen, we've taken a long time to get the right material, to come up with a great product, and it was a fit. Does it image well? Can you basically sublimate it with traditional settings? Need to go a little bit lower, and we found it. It has an excellent feel to it, and the bonus was the absorbency. We were very pleased with that, and so like the linen, got a great product and want to continue to extend it. So these are in stock today, and I'd recommend you touch base with your Condé rep or type in the notes if you're doing things online that you want to get a sample of either the towel or of the textured product.
Yeah, and so I see a lot of questions about the SpectraFusion. So guys, like I said, if you bought your printer through us, then you more than likely have the SpectraFusion. If you are unsure, call your sales rep and they can let you know for sure. You may need an upgrade, but our tech support guys will be happy to help you. Just reach out.
I know it's, when it comes to computers and all this kind of stuff, I know it's a little bit confusing, but the bottom line is, if you'll tell us a little bit of what you're doing, what programs you're printing from, we'll give you our advice. But bottom line is, whether you're Macintosh or PC, if you're printing from Corel or Photoshop, Illustrator, Adobe kinds of products, then SpectraFusion is the way to go. It's been around for many years. We finally branded it SpectraFusion to help people understand that it's different. It's the approach that if you were to go to Ask Adobe or Ask Corel, what's the best way to print from Adobe or Corel, they would tell you an approach using an ICC profile integrated into the application is best. Our approach is called SpectraFusion.
All right, guys, so let me show you our towels. All right, so this is the 11 by 18 that I just pressed. Look at those colors. What? So
nice.
Cute. And then this is the 16 by 20, and I just think this is too cute because,
It really is. So, again, the advantage of sublimation on these kind of products, it shines bright because you're dyeing the fabric. You can't feel it. It's never going to come out. and you get the brightest, most vivid colors. And of course, it's easy. I mean, think about if you were trying to do a product with vinyl, well, it's a surface decoration method. You're sticking something on the surface. And certainly with a cotton shirt, the SubliEasy is the way to go. But when it comes to products like this that are made of mainly polyester materials, you've got a great decorating method called sublimation.
All right. Okay. So yeah, so I got one more thing to do, and then we're gonna give some stuff away, y'all. We're gonna give some stuff away. How many viewers do I have on YouTube?
28,
What was my highest number of viewers?
35.
You guys. Ooh, we didn't get to it. We didn't make it. We didn't make it today. We didn't make it.
I think sometimes those numbers are not quite right, you know?
I think you're too good.
You know, I think we ought to do it anyway.
All right,
I
so this really cute design is called Lemons, and this design is going to be one of the designs that I give away. And then I am pressing my 3 new my textured pieces. And Alice, yes, they do kind of have like an eggshell texture to them.
Interesting way to describe them. That's interesting.
Do we have to be on YouTube? You don't have to be on YouTube. I just need as many. I need more viewers, guys. All right, here we go.
We have a gargantuan number of folks that are watching us on Facebook. Wow, nice.
Isn't that cute? Look how cute. Okay.
And you can expect a broad product line from the great folks at Unisub, Chromolux on the textured products.
Oh yeah.
They're going to bring out the Chromolux panels of this on hardboard and on MDF. And again, it's that mimicking the look and feel that people love of canvas.
All right, guys. So here is my ornament, and this little background pattern. You can't really see it very well. So this is called honeycomb hex, I believe, and this pattern is up for grabs. This is our cute 2x2 inch magnet, and that's just a pattern I liked. And then this one is our 2x3 inch magnet, and this is Circle Craze, and this pattern is also up for grabs. So, all right, now we're almost. What pressure did you use for the waffle towels? I used a light pressure. There we go.
Yeah, I don't think with the waffle towels, we have just a little bit of where you can see the edge of the paper, but it's
very, very light.
It's minute. Again, the deckling technique is what I like to use. You tear the edge so it's a feathered edge, and then it's not going to be possible even under minute observation to find it.
All right, guys, it's that time where I like to give away everything that I pressed, but hold your guesses. Hold your guesses, please. All right, so we're going to play Guess the Weight. And today we are going to be giving away a 50-pack of the vinyl, the EasySubli vinyl, a 50-pack.
50-pack, wow.
A 50-pack of the EasySubli mask. We're going to be giving away each one of my new small Unisub textured products. We're going to be giving away a small waffle towel and a large waffle towel. Hold your guesses. All right, here's the rules. One guess per person. Only your first guess will qualify. Only one guess per platform, so you can't guess on YouTube and on Facebook. You have to express your guesses in pounds, 1.2, 3.4, etc. The winning weight will be the first guess closest to, but not over the total combined weight of the products. 2 prizes are going to be awarded, one on Facebook, one on YouTube. Free shipping in the continental U.S., cannot win twice within 30 days. All right, and go. Tell me how much you think it weighs. Tell me how much you think it weighs.
Doesn't Sprite do a great job?
How much does it weigh? All right.
So I know
Now-
we're going to continue to have lots of questions about the vinyl, and we welcome your questions.
So, while everyone is guessing all of these great things, I am going to give some more stuff away because I love you guys.
I have one quick question.
Yes,
So
sir.
in the vinyl,
Yeah.
when would someone not need the mask?
So, if you are doing a circular design or you're doing a design with no detail and you can just pull it off of the backing, then you don't need the mask. So, if you're just doing a square, then you don't need the mask. But if you're doing names or you're doing something that has detail, you're going to need the mask.
Okay.
So, are you guys watching my, are you guys watching? All right. Oh, okay. Excuse me, David, take over.
Okay. So I don't think I can see all the questions, but just to reiterate a little bit about the Subli vinyl, because I, like you, I'm trying to get my head around it to make sure that I understand it. When you understand something, then you can begin to exploit it. You can begin to improve it. I call that, it's called Kaizen. You know, it's the constant improvements to a process. And, you know, I have to, you know, thank the great folks at Sawgrass and Siser for really exploiting, if you will, this market. Because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that do heat applied vinyl. And those people need to continue to up their game. They've got to provide more value for their products. And, you know, full color photographic quality on vinyl now is easy to achieve. And really, you know, most of these people, the most expensive piece of equipment that you need to do this is a heat press. And of course, we want to make sure that you have a great made in USA heat press like the George Knight presses that provide very consistent heat, and they're going to last an incredible long time. I had a guy that pulled up here. He went to our open house. Not sure where he was from, but he was here yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. But at any rate, he had his back of his minivan open, and I looked in there, and I saw a George Knight JP14 heat press, and it was broke. And so I was asking him, are we helping you, and that kind of stuff. And I looked at it, and I said, well, can you tell me approximately the age of this press? And I just about fell to the ground when he said that it was 15 years old. I said, okay. And I said, well, the good news is we're going to get in touch with Aaron at the George Knight Company, and I bet he has the parts you need to put this press back in working order. And I don't think you're going to say that very often for a Chinese press. So to do sublimation well, we need a quality press.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Patricia, do me a favor. Call tech support on that issue. All right. Okay. All right. So while you guys are still guessing the weight, I want to give some other things away. And since we were not on the air last week because we were so busy with open house, I have 2 product review winners that I would like to give away. And the first one is Tim, and Tim from Romy and Jules store. He reviewed all my Sock 46. He said these socks are amazing, super easy to sublimate both sides since they come with a cardboard form insert already in place. Print looks great with vibrant colors. Thank you so much, Tim.
Good
you
job.
now have $25 in Condé
And I
credit.
think we've got a brand new sock to that
We
line.
do. We have a Sock 48, which is a kid's cruise sock.
It's cute.
So it is cute.
Little,
It is.
little sock. And
All right.
you know, socks nowadays, going back to the out of your comfort zone, if you're not doing socks, you're crazy. They're so easy
Oh man,
to
and
do.
there's everybody loves them.
You know,
Finish, let
and-
me see your socks.
Do you? Okay.
Hey, that's what's
Got
up.
those loud socks, and you don't have to match them. You know, I hate matching socks together. Isn't that the worst pain in the world? And now with sublimation socks, each sock is its own individual.
That's right, that's right. All right, so for this week, Alicia Beaver, she reviewed my shrink wrap, the SF76, our SubliShrink, and she said, the shrink wrap is a game changer. It is so easy to use. I used a regular hair dryer first, but have since purchased the heat gun. I've used the shrink wrap on the SSWG12, which is our wine tumblers, and the SSB17, which is our tall water bottles. Thank you, Alicia. You have now $25 in Condé credit to spend as you wish.
And I'll tell you that
All right.
the SubliShrink, that's not a little process improvement. That's a paradigm shift. That's a big, huge change, because now it makes doing so many complex products, increasing your transfer area, we can't even fathom where this is going to go.
Oh, we can fathom. We can fathom. All right, guys, one last thing. So this is our very last week for you guys to enter our quarterly gallery contest. So show me your best pet-themed item for your chance to win $400 for first place, $200 for second place, $100 for third place, and then we're just going to give somebody $100 just for participating. So please go to our gallery, upload your images, show us what you're doing. Not only will you be entered to win the pet-themed contest if your item is pet-themed, but you're also entered to win our $25 weekly contest. And I am really excited about this week's winner, because I think that this is an amazingly out-the-box way to think. So this is the Designer's Corner, and they did our Pet Scarf 04. And let me show you what they did. So not only is it like a really cute dog, which of course I love it, but they made the pet scarf as a political ad. So imagine this, you're running for office, right? Some random person sees a cute dog, they pet the dog, oh look at the dog's scarf, and now it's the guy running for mayor. So, okay, one, you've already seen his marketing, and two, he likes dogs, so win-win, right? So the Designer's Corner, I am really impressed with this. Congratulations, you now have $25 in Condé cash.
That is awesome.
Do I have a YouTube winner?
Yes.
All right, what's that name?
Oh, I think I know.
I think I know.
$4.2.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
congratulations, Kim.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on now. And who's my comment winner for the art pack?
Lisa Peckinpah.
Lisa
Congratulations,
Peckinpah. All
Lisa.
right. All right, guys. So, all right. Okay, so my Guess the Weight winners. Paula Kubiak, you guessed on Facebook 4.3 pounds. That is correct. I will be sending you all of your stuff next week. Kim Jenkins on YouTube, you guessed 4.2 pounds. You were the closest without going over. I'll be sending you your stuff next week. And then Joanne Hamilton and Lisa Peckinpah, I will be sending you both your beautiful art packs. Please email me at swood@conde.com so that I can send you that art.
S-Wood, no S.
No,
at the
just,
end.
that's what I
S-Wood.
said. I said swood. swood@conde.com.
I want to
Okay.
type an S sometimes, but
Well,
S-Wood.
swood@conde.com. All right, guys. That's all I have for you today.
So we thank you for being with us. We know you'll have more questions. Send us the questions, post them, and we will do our best to, again, learn with you. But I can tell you right now that we're very excited about the Siser, EasySubli, and Sprite. Do the people out there that have an existing sublimation printer like the Sawgrass SG800, do they need to buy a new printer?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
You can use what you
No.
have.
No.
Well, thank you for being with us. Everybody have a great weekend. Till next time.
Bye, guys. Oh, we're supposed to do it here. That's right. Oh, well. We're getting it. So you got to go all the way over? There you go.